Fresh Off the Boat was an iconic American television show that encompassed many, many different Asian characters that were part of the main cast. It is important to understand the impact of the television series on a broad scale. From this picture of the memoir regarding the book from Eddie Huang, the New York Times labeled it as iconic and brash, which is something commonly associated with minorities in television, where minorities are not portrayed that frequently, so people see it as an anomaly or something that unique that they have never seen before. In an article from the NBC News, which reflected upon the show, it talked about the many embarrassing moments that Asian immigrants' family often have when they come to the United States that were portrayed in the show. Interestingly, this relates to Goffman's article very well because it talks about how the family tried to adjust, how each character had to adjust and behave differently so that other people wouldn't judge them for being immigrants or Asian. In Goffman's article, he says that if unacquainted with the individual, observers can glean clues from his conduct and appearance which allow them to apply their previous experience with individuals roughly similar to the one before them. And this is something that often happens in Fresh Off the Boat, where the characters are sometimes stereotyped or treated differently by their peers due to being Asian or immigrants. Thus, it is important to credit Fresh Off the Boat with being a show that truly put Asians and Asian representation onto the television. For example, there were so many popular scenes, such as showing the Huang family celebrating Thanksgiving as immigrants for the first time. And these scenes were important because it showed how Asians tried to immerse themselves in the American culture and how they weren't different from Americans, as people really thought they were. Therefore, we can see that Fresh Off the Boat was an example of virality and how it gave a lot of information about Asians that was never seen before. Just like how YouTube allowed Asian YouTubers to showcase themselves, to present themselves, and to promote the Asian culture, Fresh Off the Boat did the same thing on television, where it created a new space for minorities to become the main characters and allow a story to develop that was synchronized with what happened in reality. Overall, the show was an amazing success and a brilliant showcase of diversity. It allowed Asians to be seen in a very different way than before, and it allowed television, Western television, to make sure that even minorities could be represented properly and not in stereotypical ways that affected people's perception of them more in society.